What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about Sistas on BET. Ciao. This finale, it was. We just gonna get into it. Let's just talk about it, shall we?
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming with a force. Yeah, blessing the reap and we coursing on.
All right, y'all. So the episode starts off with Zach and Fatima still talking about this whole is she a mother? Does she have a kid ordeal? Okay. So I kind of knew that there was something slick awry. All right. So they're going back and forth, and he's like, you gonna tell me about Joey? You got this baby daddy coming to my door talking about you got kids and whatnot. What's going on? So she's like, I mean, that was a long time ago, and I didn't want to be a mother, and I just left. And he's like, Fatima, are you kidding me? Like, what in the HE hockey six is going on right now? Like, you can't be serious. She was like, I mean, you got baby mamas, and it is what it is. Like, I don't like the little BASTARD. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, y'all. But especially not in the first 2 minutes. But I'm like, this don't make no sense. She was trying to teach him a lesson, apparently, because she does eventually say, okay, I'm just playing. I was just really teaching you a lesson because you see how it feels for somebody to be coming and telling you that somebody is your baby dad. Somebody is telling you that they my baby daddy and all this stuff. How did that make you feel or whatever? And he was like, okay, touche. I get it. I understand. She was like, okay, so now that you know how it feels, let's stop the bullshit. Okay, let's stop having all these women coming over here talking about they done, you done pumped, you done left something behind after you had a little rump session. Okay, something behind that's gonna last for at least 18 years of pocketry. Okay, so Zach is like, okay, touche, touche, I get it. Okay, but from now on, let's just be totally honest with each other. No more of this little playing game stuff. But I'm just like, this was really a waste of our time. Like, I get it, you want to teach him a lesson, and all right, child, whatever. Moving on. So, in the next scene, hold on, y'all. In the next scene, we have Karen outside with Aaron slash John, okay? With this lady yelling and screaming, talking about, oh, I'm going to tell her. I'm going to tell her. And she ain't tell her nothing, okay? So he's like telling the lady to get out of here. Then he's telling Karen, he's like, go back in the shop. I will explain it to you later. I promise you. I'm going to go to the police station and I'm going to file a report on her. And so I'm just like, Harpo, who that woman? What is this all about? She was like, yeah, you're doing it again, huh? You're doing it again because you know what you did to me and all this. I'm like, girl, what did he do to you, girl? Girl, go on and say it. Because now this is yet another thing that's going to be unsung and unsolved for this episode. Like, we still have so many things that are not solved. I don't, child, I can't. So Aaron says, I'm gonna tell you about it all later. I promise you. And he rides off into the sunset, I guess, to go and follow up on his restraining order that he apparently has on homegirl that came to verbally and physically attack him because she ended up hitting him in the face. So Pam, being her nosy little self, of course, she's like asking Karen, what does she think about the whole situation? How is she feeling? And, all this, that, and the third. And Karen is just like, Pam, mind your business. So Pam is like, you want me to have somebody find out who she is? And she was like, no, girl, just mind your business. Just mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business. Pam is like, oh, I got that license plate. So I'm going to go ahead and check up on homegirl and I'm going to see who's who and who to what. And Karen is like, okay, girl, whatever, do your thing. I ain't about to be getting involved, okay? So moving on, in the next scene, hold on, y'all, because I'm trying to skim through and make sure I give y'all all this information in order. In order. But y'all, the best scene we're gonna get to is when the girls were over at Danny's house. I could not believe the way she read them for filth. Okay, but we're gonna get into it. So in the next scene, we are, hey Linda Gamble. Linda Gamble is in the building. What's up? What's up? How you doing? How you bees this evening? All right, because we on the late nights doing this. I'm so sorry. But y'all, shout out to Linda Gamble. She is always in the building with me. So in this next scene, we have Calvin and Maurice in the apartment. So Maurice is apologizing to Calvin in his pajamas. Okay. I don't know if this is like an outfit thing like people are doing now, like wearing pajamas as an outfit, but yeah, this is what Maurice got on. But moving on. So he's apologizing to Calvin, and Calvin is just like, you know what, whatever, it is what it is. And Maurice is just joking his way through it, like making up, saying, oh well, he should have stole your shirts. Because Calvin is like, well, he stole my stuff, half of my stuff too. Like, you are over here getting upset or whatever because he stole stuff out of here, but he stole half of my stuff too, and you're not even thinking about that. And Maurice was like, well, your shirts are ugly, he should have stole all of those. And I'm like, Maurice, okay. Then Maurice says, well, I'm going to go get my car. I have a spare key. I'm going to go and get my car from him, and I'm going to get your stuff back. And so Calvin was like, I think you need to leave that alone. The African already put up all this money for your bail. You don't want to mess that up. So Maurice is like, why you keep calling him the African? Okay, you do know he has a name. Are you hating on him or and whatnot? And so Calvin is like, no, I'm just saying, you don't want them to revoke your bail by you going and doing something stupid. So Maurice says, listen, you and I are two different people. I roll a whole different way in a whole different lane. I'm going to go ahead and head on out because I'm going to go get my keys and do what I got to do to get my stuff, because ain't nobody about to be screwing me over like this. First of all, he already did. Maurice, you need to let the system handle this situation. Unless you're going up here with a tape recorder to get this man to admit that he made up all of this stuff and lied on y'all, I don't know what you're trying to do. I really don't know what you're trying to do, because this tango that you're doing with Q it's not very helpful for you. Linda Gamble says, how are you doing this evening? I am doing really good. I'm glad that Sistas is over. I need a break because this trash finale is just getting on my nerves. Linda says she's good. Good. I am so glad to hear that. I'm always good when you good. So in the next scene, y'all, we have Hayden and Gary in the office. Now they waiting on Robin to come up in here and, basically grovel at their feet or whatever and admit that he don't have the money. So he didn't have the money. Apparently it didn't get wired in. So they were debating on whether they wanted to go ahead and send the email to the partner saying, okay, well, he's out because he didn't come up with the money. Here's my issue with all of this. It's just too much. It's too much left uncovered. What brings about you saying that you need to put more money into the business? What did the business need for all the partners to come up with 3 point whatever million dollars to bring back into the business? None of this is making any sense, because if I'm the partners and I'm assuming that all of them have to come up with $3 million too, right? So if they all have to come up with $3 million, just like Robin does, what is all of this for? What is it supposed to be contributing to? What is it supposed to do? That's what I didn't understand. So for them to be calling together this hedge fund, whatever, to come and say, oh, well, we need you to put some more money into your law firm. It's just not making any sense. But anyway, whatever. None of this shit makes any sense on Sistas. But moving on. Child. So they sitting there looking like Tweedledee and Tweedledam dumb. And Gary's like, oh, we got him. We got him. He's over here getting his rocks off. Like, yeah, we got him. Go ahead. Let's just, you know what? Maybe we should wait. Maybe we should just wait, because I just want to see his face. Like, Gary is just so pressed to see Robin distraught. But I hope and pray in season 6, child, if I want to put myself through this again, I don't even know. But I hope and pray in season 6 that Robin comes in and fires Hayden and is like, oh yeah, we're good. I did what I needed to do. Oh, and Gary, you and your hedge fund can get the hell on out of here too. Like, I need all of that to happen. I need these stories to start to close up. Close them up. Cause you do, Tyler, you only thing that we solved in this episode rather quickly, which I'm glad about, is that Fatima was lying about having this baby. That's it. Everything else is still unsung and unsolved. Child, and I'm gonna share with y'all some of the comments people had on Dag on Twitter. So Gary, they send off the email. Gary leaves out, feeling real good about himself because he done got Robin out of his business seemingly, and he's like, "Oh yeah, so nobody messes with anything that's mine." Like he owns daggone Andy. I'm like, this man is really crazy. I just don't understand why Andy is messing with him. I really, really don't. So as he's walking out, he sees Andy and they're having a little back and forth conversation where he's like, oh, okay, can I see you later? Can you come and, can we have dinner later? She was like, oh, I'll think about it. And I'm just like, girl, you going to go out to dinner with him. Just stop playing around. I don't know why Andy be playing these little games. Like, what you want him to do? Put another Bentley in the parking lot, then you'll be singing his praises and y'all will be married again. Child, unbelievable. Moving on. So Zach goes to the hair salon to talk to Karen and whatnot after all the foolishness that happened outside. So he goes in there, and Pam, of course, is like, don't go in there pissing her off because Aaron already had something going on outside. He had some woman up here. So she up there telling her business to Zach. And Zach is like, girl, let me tell you something. Let me stop you right now. Let me stop you right now because I don't give a damn about none of that. I don't care about nothing that's going on. I am here to talk to her and apologize. That's all I'm doing. That's what he's thinking in his head. He's like, listen, where's she at? Where's she at? Let me go in the back and talk to her. So he goes, Pam is like, make sure you don't mess it up in there. And he was like, oh, I know you ain't talking because you be back here doing stuff too. But ain't nobody doing none of that. Okay. So he gets on to the back to talk to Karen, and he's like, listen, I just wanted to come and apologize to you, for everything that I did the other day. Like, I just really want to apologize. And Karen is like, yeah, I'm not signing the papers. What's it to you? Like, she was just ready to be stanked to him. Like, she's taking out everything that just happened with Aaron right on Zach. But you know what, Zach, you deserve it because you shouldn't have took your ass up in that damn restaurant acting a plum daggone fool, okay? In there fighting Aaron, knocking tables over and whatnot, acting like you ain't got no daggone home training. I didn't like that. I didn't like it at all. So you should be in here apologizing, and not just because you're trying to get her to sign some papers for her to agree to what you're trying to give her for child support. So anyway, he's like, you still being like real bitter. Why are you still acting like this? And I'm trying to come in here and apologize to you. So she's like, listen, I don't, you can take your apology basically and shove it up your rear end. I don't care. And I'm not signing the papers. So she just wanted to be stank. Anyway, moving on. So he's like, all right, Karen, you know what? I'm not going to go back and forth with you. It is what it is. And, why do you always have to have this toxic energy? Like, you like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And she's like, I know you ain't lying because you do the same thing. So both of them really do the same thing. Like, Zach could be cool, calm, and collected in 1 minute, and then the next minute he going ham. So listen, just apologize to her and get the hell up on out of there. So he ends up leaving. So Pam comes in. She's like, girl, I found out who homegirl is. I got my friend on it. And Karen is like, okay, Pam, whatever. So Pam is trying to give her the lowdown on what's going on with the chick. So Karen is like, all right, whatever. We'll talk. You find out what you find out, and you tell me later. So then she calls Andy and tells her that she's on her way over to Danny's house. So they're going to go over there and have some type of intervention with Danny. Okay. Which, child, I was not expecting what happened when they got over there. So hold on, y'all. Let me make sure. So Danny is at home. Okay. In the next scene, Sabrina comes in and Danny turns around. She's like, "So what the hell you doing here?" She was like, "Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure them other two gonna be right behind you. Right behind you, Angel." Okay. So they come up in there. All of them sit down and talk about how they so worried about Danny, and this is exactly what happened in college. She was insecure about her weight, and so she wanted to really prove herself and her worth. So she was sleeping with all these guys and whatnot. And something happened with some guy where with some at some frat party where something really bad happened to Danny, and they were bringing it up and telling her about herself, basically like saying, "We're really worried about you and we want you to basically stop this stuff. Like you always do this when you're trying to prove something." And Danny says, "It's really interesting to me how when I'm doing it, I'm trying to prove myself some kind of way. But when men do it, it's okay. Men can sleep around with whoever the heck they want, but if a woman does it, I'm over here being a hoe bag and I need to get myself together." So I can see both sides with Danny. Danny, yes, you're absolutely right. There is totally a double standard where it comes to men and women. When men sleep around, they are looked upon as a player. You see, if a woman, you haven't slept around with a whole bunch of women, some women find you unattractive. Okay, like what's wrong with you? You're damaged. Don't nobody want it. What's wrong with it? Okay. But a woman, if she sleeps around with a whole bunch of people, what's wrong with you? You damage goods. You trifling. You a hoe. Okay. That's what they want to label us as. It's cute to be a hoe when you a man, but it's stank to be a hoe when you a woman. Okay. The double standards are very they're ridiculous. They really are. However, Danny, men are stronger than you. Men have a little bit more power in society, if you will. So you are more susceptible to, lack of a better way of saying it, not being safe when you're having men come over your house that you don't know. Like, for example, you had the airport guy coming over there. You slept with him. Then you got the dude that came over there that you met at the airport again. That he was there with his ex-wife and picking up his kid, and he crazy as a June bug, and he ends up beating you up and doing stuff to you, like apparently a flashback of what happened in college. You didn't learn your lesson because then now you got Q coming over here. Now Q didn't do anything physical to you, but come to find out, he the one that got your friend locked up. So it's just, you got to be very careful. But while I'm with her on the double standard, I also want her to be careful and be mindful. But she read the dog shit out of the rest of them girls. Okay. She started off with Sabrina. She said, "Sabrina, I know you lying talking to me about some man. You over here with somebody wearing panties, and you don't know what you want to do. You still confused. You over here acting like you don't know what you want to do with him. Then you messing with somebody else. You talk, because all of them were like, well, we're consistent. We have the same men." I'm like, I know y'all lying. Then she turns to Andy and she says, "Oh, is it wrong because I'm not effing for cars and apartments?" I know you're not sitting over here trying to tell me about the birds and the bees, honey, because you, my friend, have lost your everlasting mind. Okay. What you're not going to do is tell me anything about a relationship. Not never, not today, not ever going to come and give me any advice. She's like, "You got somebody that was married, and then he comes over, he throws his wife over a balcony by accident. Okay, then she comes back from the dead some kind of way, then comes to your house, okay, and has you in your room in your panty drawers and pantaloons, threatening you with a gun, shoots him, and then tries to shoot you. But yet you want to come for moi?" And she said, "Oh, and another thing, you sleeping with the janitor's son at her house?" Yeah, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Paris, if you will. Yeah, sleeping with the janitor's son at her house. but you want to come and give me some advice. Girl, I know you lying. Okay, I know you lying. Then she talks about, oh, she also talked about Sabrina sleeping with her employee. She's like, oh, and yeah, you want to sleep with your employee, and then the homeboy with the panties come over here to your house and catch you in the act. Okay, because you're doing what you want to do with somebody you really want to do it with, because you're not really attracted to the panty man. I'm like, Lord have mercy. She is just like, it's like she's blasting everybody. I'm like, ooh, put the bazooka down. Put it down, Danny. No, no, no. Pick it back up. Pick it back up, because I need you to go ahead and go ham on Karen. So then she says to Karen, she's like, you slept with 2 men in 2 days apart and don't know who your baby daddy is. Honey. I about lost my daggone mind. Danny was not here to play with the girls, okay? She was not here to play with them. She's like, what y'all not going to do is give me no advice. And I love the fact that she said to Karen, because you don't even know who your baby daddy is. Because what that said to her is, we don't believe you. You try to have us in the doctor's office with the doctor trying to say that, yeah, I know because the numbers match up. It's Zach's baby. Danny gave her the whole full on, girl, you don't know who your baby daddy is. You don't. And then she was like, and yeah, you over here acting crazy over your ex that don't want you no more, blah, blah, blah. Child. I wish I could play the part without getting a copyright of Danny reading the heck out of these chicks. It was so worth it. It was so worth it. Because here's my thing. I get being a concerned friend. I do. But I feel like it would have been better if they had have come in there with the mindset and an open heart of, hey, Danny, listen, here's what I'm going through. And I'm going through XYZ with this dude over here. And he got me over here looking stupid, blah, blah, blah. I just don't want to see my friend going through this. Because I'm going through a rough time right now. I just don't want to see you going through it. I would have rather them take that approach. Disarm the situation where you're not coming in here at some round table of throwing darts at somebody that's going through something. Obviously, Danny is going through something. And I don't like the way that they came in judging her. And you know what? Here's the thing. I've been thinking about damn Andy. She also saying you sleeping with your boss. Yeah, you tripping. My thing is, why didn't Andy ask Gary for the money to get Sabrina out of jail? Since he money bag okay. Why you ain't asked him for the money? Because he up here having people put up $3 million plus for a daggone law firm. He paying cash for Bentleys. He paying out of the pocket cash for an apartment for Andy. Why couldn't she get the money from him? That's what I want to know. But child, Danny said, yeah, you over here effing for bags and cars and apartments, child. Terry T. Baby Davis says they needed it. They are always passing judgment. I agree, sis. Absolutely. Because don't come over here pissing on my parade, okay? Terry T. Baby Davis says, then to bring up what happened to her in college. Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about that real quick, like. Because my thing is, why doesn't Tyler Perry do flashbacks of when they were in college and how they got to know each other, how they became friends, things like that? Like, I think that we are missing so much. Now, they do go back and eventually tell the stories, if you will, of the things that they did in college. But I would much rather see like examples. Like, I want to see this stuff in action, if you will. So Danny tells them to get the hell up on out of her damn apartment, child. She's like, you know what? I don't need, y'all are not in y'all, and you are not able to fix my life because you need to fix your own damn life. So what I'm gonna need you to do is get the hell up on out of here. Ease on down the road. Ease on down the road. Okay? They're like, we're not going anywhere. Okay, because that's what you do. You want to do all of that, but we're your sisters and we love you. Okay, because we're gonna be here for you. And Danny, like, y'all are full of SHI. Okay, all of y'all. Linda Gamble says, hello, Terry baby. Terry T Baby Davis. Linda said, She says hello back to Linda. Terry says, I'm sorry, forgive me. Hey, Shay. No, you good, girl. Come on in and just get to talking. That's what I like. I like for us to kind of have some dialogue on these things because this show has really been driving me nuts. And I'm honest, if I'm honest, I'm glad that it's over. Okay. So in the next scene, so Danny ends up leaving. She's like, y'all ain't gonna leave. I'm gonna go ahead and head on out. So she leaves out. In the next scene, there's the ladies are shown like, what we gonna do? We just gonna stay here until she get back. I'm like, y'all are okay. Just sit there looking dumb. So then we go to Fatima and Zach. They're back at the house, and Fatima is laughing at Zach. She's like, you know what? I had to get you back because you are constantly like coming up with all this stuff. Is a baby mama here, baby mama there. I wanted you to see what it feel like. He was like, don't ever do that again. That's not funny. So they sit down and they're both kind of like talking about that back and forth. And then she said she has an envelope in her hand. She's like, open the door. He's like, why? What are you talking about? Like you a psychic or something? So he goes to the door, and of course Heather is at the door. So Heather comes in there and they sit down and whatnot, and he's like, okay, well, let's talk about the child support. She's like, oh, okay, yeah, because I got a lawyer. I'm like, oh my God, Tyler, women really are not this ghetto. Like, unbelievable. So getting to the point, he said he gonna go ahead. That he know you ain't got no lawyer, sis. I'm gonna go ahead and break you off $2,000 a month. Okay, sign the papers. So she's like, $2,000. Oh, that's great. Okay, where do I sign? I'm like, y'all could have got her a long time ago. Like what? $2,000 a month? I mean, granted, that's more than enough. But I'm like, as a stripper, that probably makes that, I hope, in a night or two, right? I hope every night for what you doing to get it. Why would that excite you? $2,000. But you know what? If you like it, he love it. Go on, sign the papers, honey. So she signs the paperwork. And Zach is excited. He's like, how did you make this happen? Like, I can't believe it. Okay, whatever. That's one thing down. She was like, yeah, but don't bring no more baby mamas up in here. Fatima tells him. So I'm like, child, okay. T Chamber says, I would like to know what happened to Gary's wife and the lawsuit. Tyler, we want answers and conclusions. Yeah, because Danny also, I'm glad you brought that up, T Chambers. Yeah, because Danny brought up, she was like, yeah, because you had him over here she told Andy during that little intervention, she was like, yeah, and you got this dude over here suing us, his ex-wife suing us randomly and whatnot, and you got us all caught up in your drama. Yeah, what happened to the lawsuit? Another thing that Tyler Perry is not solving. I just, child. Terry T baby over here laughing at me. Why is the first time Zach mentioned seeing his son? Right. That's what I'm saying. You over here talking about that's very key. Why are we talking about child support so much that you're not even talking about getting to know this kid? I said that in the last video. I'm like, these people are so worried about and hell bent on the money. They're not talking about creating a relationship between Zach and this child. Like they're not cultivating relationships with the kid, like for him to get to know them. Because you don't want to just be a paycheck daddy. And Heather, she's like, you want to see? He's like, you know, and I want to get to know my son. She's like, you want to see him? I'll bring him over here right now. Matter of fact, he can live here. Basically, that's what she said. And I'm like, well, girl, well, there will be no need for me to pay you if the kid gonna be at my house every day. Like, I know you lying, child. That was crazy. But anyway, in the next scene, Danny is in the car, which we should get a car from. Did she go buy another car? Because her car was wrecked because she ran into homeboy with the car and it was totaled. Whatever. So she riding in a car that she must have bought. So Preston calls and Preston is like, hey, Danny. She's like, Preston, I don't want to meet that girl. I'm like, girl, I hope he wouldn't be trying to bring old Mindy around. Preston need to stop throwing Mindy in her face too. Like, I didn't like that. I didn't like in the last episode where he's like, you want to meet her or blah, blah, blah. Why would she want to meet her? Preston, just leave Danny alone. Danny don't want you. Okay. She is not ready for a healthy relationship. Even the girls were, when they were telling Danny, they were like, Preston is a really good man and you're just passing him up. And listen, you don't gotta be with Preston, but we just think that you're making a mistake. And she's like, I know y'all lying. Don't try to tell me about what's a good man and whatnot. And here's the thing, he is a good dude, Danny. You are being an idiot. But Andy, you passed up Robin. Okay. Karen, it took you a long time to warm up to the preacher, which child, he got his own stuff going on. And Sabrina, you still playing games between Calvin and the African man. So neither one of y'all can really tell her about passing up on a good man. I don't want to hear it. So moving on, Preston is like, I guess he done left a one pair of drawers over her house, child, that he can't live without. Basically, that's the planter clothes. I'm going to plant this here so I can have a reason to call you and talk to you and come back over your damn house. So he's like, I left some stuff at your house. That's why I'm calling. I want to come and get it. That's Preston's little way of always trying to get back around Danny and trying to, push up on her. Okay. So she's like, Preston, no, you can't come over my house. Like, I'll put your shit in a box and put it outside my door. He's like, you really gonna be like that? Child, listen, we've already seen right through your little game. Okay. The party done. She don't want to fool with you. Get your stuff in a box, take your pink slip, and go on to Mindy and live a good life. Like, you are a good dude. You're very handsome. But guess what? Everything that's good ain't good for that person. Okay. It's a lot of attractive people out here in the world and a lot of amazing people in the world, but we can't have all of them. She don't want you. Okay. So frankly, I am just very over the whole Preston fiasco, if you will. I want Danny to either, if she gonna be with him, be with him. If you not, move on, sis. Okay. Cause frankly, I'm sick of it. Terry T Baby Davis says, I am so tired of Preston begging. Child, you and me both. Okay. You and me both. I am so extremely sick of it. Okay. So then in the last scene, okay, we have Q and Maurice in this terrible green screen. Okay. Shout out to Southwest Airlines that was in the background of that, because I know that blue and orange wing anywhere. Okay. So Maurice comes up there saying, give me my daggone keys. Give me my keys to my car. Give me all my stuff back. And let me just get on up out of here. Give me my stuff. I don't know what in Maurice's empty head made him think that he was going to just roll up to the airport and Q was just going to be like, oh, hey, thanks for asking. Here you go. No, he wasn't. Mind you, homeboy not only took the regular car key, he took the spare key too. Now, here's my thing. How did he take the main car key? Riddle me this, Batman, because when Maurice got locked up, he was at work. So he had to have drove to work, you see. So I'm pretty sure his keys were in his pocket and they probably confiscated the keys at the jail. So the only key that Q could have had would have been the spare. So that little tidbit there didn't make any sense because he would have had to, basically Q would have had to get the car from the bank. Or if Maurice didn't have his keys in his pocket, his keys would have had to have been in his office at the bank, right? Anybody think that far in? I did. So sorry. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was silly that he had both of the keys some kind of way. But anyway, keys are gone. He's asking for all of his stuff. They get to tussling. Q is like, I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not doing this. I would have loved to see Maurice kind of get him to admit all of the stuff that he's done. So, but he didn't. Q pulls out a gun. He's like, you snuck me last time when when they were going back and forth. Like Q is just talking to Maurice like he's so in the right and he's done nothing wrong here. I'm like, this man has really lost his mind and he is really crazy. Like this stuff doesn't make any sense. There's no way that recording that he had will have him out of jail and living his best life. Where is the police officer that orchestrated all of this stuff? Because none of this makes any sense. And why is he not at the airport anymore catching the traffickers? We ain't seen him no more since he came and apprehended Sabrina and Maurice. Was his contract up for this season? I don't know. Moving on. None of this is making sense. So anyway, Q pulls out a gun. He is ready to go bang bang on Maurice. They get to tussling, so I guess that's gonna take us into season 6. Ciao. Anyway, who watched the Zatima preview afterwards? Because that was actually way more interesting than everything that we watched on this show. Okay? I'm not even excited about season 6. Usually, when you end on a finale, it's some type of cliffhanger like Q and Maurice tussling. But I don't have any expectations because I feel like Tyler Perry has dragged out the storylines so long in this season that I don't have any confidence in anything being solved next season. I feel like next season is just going to be another season of pissing me off. T Chambers says, how did Q have a gun on the job at the airport? That's a good question. And you wearing a daggone ankle bracelet, but you walking around with a gun. You will easily go back to jail with the quickness doing something like that. So T Chambers also says even employees go through screening at the airport. Right. Good point. See, none of this stuff makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Terry T. Baby Davis says that's what TP does. Right. Do stuff that don't make no damn sense. So, y'all, I was on the Twitter sphere, okay? And I looked at Tyler Perry's Sistas on BET, their official page posts, wow, what an amazing season finale. Thank you to all the fans for the constant love and support. We couldn't do it without you. You would think that there would be some positive comments under that, right? It wasn't. People replied, I hope season 6 is way better and get to the point, and they better not kill Maurice. Somebody else says, nah, as a true fan, I'm sorry, but this episode was the worst and it felt rushed. Somebody else says, the wackest season finale I've ever seen. Disappointed. All of these comments were negative, by the way. Someone says, oh no, this was not a good season finale. Somebody else said, do better in season 6, please. Somebody else says, no, it wasn't. Not surprised. Do better next season because we tired. Child. If Tyler Perry don't start listening to people, I don't know what's going to happen with Sistas. I really don't. Ms. Main Event says so much of Zatima played out on Sistas. What is there to see when Zatima airs? Well, I think that Zatima is going to give another perspective and it's going to really zone in on Zach and Fatima's life with the other people outside of them. So you got to look at the situation with Nathan where he was cheating on his wife, and then the neighbor comes back. His tenant is going to be back on the show. So if you watch the preview, you see where Deja, it continues from when Fatima pulled her out of the hot tub and beat her up. And then now there's going to be this situation with this guy on the job with Fatima. Zach's probably going to be jealous. Then they went back into the Bryce situation where he kissed Zach and Zach was uncomfortable with that. Then we're going to see more of Fatima's friend Angela really being a little hater. Like Angela, I didn't like how in that preview she was trying to make Fatima a damsel in distress, like saying, oh, like when Fatima's tire was flat, she's like, oh, you need to call Zach because men like to feel needed and all this. I'm like, girl, if I can change my father taught me how to change my tire. So I'm not about to like I don't like a woman that's a damsel in distress. Let me make that very clear. Like, I can't stand when women act like they can't do anything on their own. Granted, does a man want to feel needed? Of course. Women want to feel needed too. But I don't want to, if I'm a man, I don't want to be with a woman that needs me to do every single thing for him. Like, what the hell am I here for then? Just to be your servant? Like, no. But then let a man treat a woman like that, then it's a problem. It's like, I'm not here to just clean the house and take care of your kids and all this and the third. You can't treat the man like that either. Gotta have an even playing field at some point. When TP Terry T Baby David says when TP gets tired, he then kills off all the characters. Wow. Well, it's a couple on this show he need to go on and kill off. Miss Main Event says, oh, okay, I didn't see the preview. Yeah, it came on right after the Sistas episode. Terry T Baby Davis says, I don't like Angela. Yeah, I don't like Angela either. I think Angela is a hater. I think Angela is jealous of Fatima. I think that she's a little busybody. I think that she's always so far, too far in Fatima's business. So I just want Angela to knock it off. That's what I want Angela to do. And I want her to go in her hole and mind her business. Okay. So, y'all, Sisters, season 5. Tell me down in the comments, what do y'all think? What should we expect for season 6? I know in season 6, I want them to stop it with this whole Robin, Gary, and Hayden thing. Hayden needs to be fired. Okay. Now, I did forget to mention, Gary asked Hayden, he was like, did you do a background on this chick that you screwing around with? Do you really know her like that? And of course, Hayden didn't. He feels like he did enough check work in her badge, okay, and that's enough. I'm like, this man, he must really not get no women. Because this is just absolutely insane that he is just this gullible, okay? Terry T. Baby Davis says Angela is all in Fatima business. She should have recognized that her man was gay. Child, right. Absolutely. Terry T. Baby Davis says, yes, sick of Hayden. So, y'all, that brings me to, do y'all want me to review Zatima? I do have BT Plus. So I do plan on reviewing Zatima. I'm going to go, I did review the last season. I didn't do episodes 7 through 10, though. I may go ahead and do those so that I can have them on my channel for those that don't have BET Plus, and you can kind of see, and then we can just keep going as the new season comes on. I think the full episodes for Zatima are not going to be up until the 22nd. So I'll try to get the reviews out for episodes 7 through 10 so that people can catch up. And then we'll be fresh with the new season coming out. So just let me know in the comments if that's what y'all want me to do. Miss Main Event says, yes, review Zatima. Okay, I got you, sis. I will review Zatima. Okay. But y'all, comment down below. Let's talk about this Sisters finale. I just feel like, in my personal opinion, I'm going to give this finale a 2. It was trash. We solved absolutely nothing. Karen still don't have a baby bump. I just don't want Karen. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't even want Karen to be pregnant. I really don't. I really want that to just be gone. I want Heather something to have happened with that daggone DNA test where that ain't his kid either. Like, I just don't want to. I don't really see a kid dynamic on this show. I really don't. I want Andy to wake up and leave Gary alone. Like, Gary is too possessive. It's too much. Or be with him. Just be with him if you really want to. You like it. That's what you do. Admit it. Admit that you are materialistic, and that's how he's going to win you over every time. Just stop playing games with us. Sabrina, going on and be with the African. I'm sorry to say, Calvin, your position will probably be obsolete. Why do we need you here? And Maurice, I'm tired of him joking his way through stuff and being rude to everybody, talking trash to people and thinking that it's cute. It's not. It's not. And Q, I really hope that Maurice didn't shoot Q, because now he'll be back in jail. There'll be a problem with the African because now his money is going to be basically, that's going to be a waste of money that he done put out there, because now Maurice is going to be back in jail for yet another crime, shooting some daggone body. Child, I don't know. I want to know what's Aaron's story. Yes, I do too. Who is this Jenny from the block with the curly hair coming over here acting crazy? Who is this? I don't get it. Do you think that the African is legit? You know what? I don't. Actually, I think he is somebody, or he is in some huge crime situation. Because remember, the officer looked at him at the table, right? And was like, I think I know you. Like he must have seen, like he saw him on some crime scene, or like he must have seen him in a picture when they putting together what they gonna do to solve the crime and looking at all the suspects, right? I feel like he must have seen Bio's picture, like as one of the people that must be a trafficker. Like I feel like he must be a part of that trafficking ring some type of way, and the cop guy recognized him. That's what I think. So I think he's a part of that, and I was disappointed that we didn't really expand upon that in this season. Miss Main Event says when Angela's man came on to Zach, I lost it. Yeah, like I'm like, you know what? I get it. We all about inclusion and everything, but I'm like, do we gotta put that in every single show some kind of way? Like I didn't think that was necessary. I really didn't. But it was hella hilarious. Miss Main Event says, yes, what is Aaron's story? Yeah, I want to know what Aaron's story is too. But I don't like the fact that now people are like, oh my God, he was too nice. I knew it. Something was going on with him. He had to have been doing something. Like, why couldn't he just be legitimately a nice dude? But again, we still don't know. Maybe this lady really is crazy, because anytime you got an ex-wife that's coming and offering herself in somebody's salon in their chair, now you got another crazy person. Everybody ain't just crazy and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for no reason. Okay. I don't know. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that is watching this show too. Hit that follow. Once you hit the subscribe button, go on over to Instagram and TikTok and follow me, Shay Renee Online, on all of my social media handles. And I will see you in the next video. I love y'all. Peace out.